Chapter 8. Lizzie hummed a happy tune as she dressed for school the next day. She was excited. This felt like a whole new beginning for AA Dynamic Dog Walkers. She could hardly wait about to hand out the new flyers. Make a negative into a positive, her dad told her once when she complained about being stuck in a bad volleyball team in gym class. She really hadn't understand what he meant, but now she did. Instead of being worried, upset, or mad about Daphne trying to steal their client, Lizzie had taken it as an opportunity to make her and Maria's business even better. She brought the new flyer to school that day and tucked it carefully away in the back of her notebook. At recess, she pulled Maria inside and waited until everybody left the room. Lizzie even checked the cubby area of their classroom to make sure nobody like that bitch Daphne Drake, for example, was listening. She was like a spy with a secret document, her position. Sorry for the swear word. That's just me ad-libbing. What do you think? She whispered. She opened her notebook to show Maria the flyer. Maria nodded nice, but that's a pretty big drop in our price, isn't it? Lizzie waved a hand. If we had a few more clients, it won't matter if our price is lower. In the long run, we'll make more money. That Mrs. Dobbins would be so happy. Miss Dobbins was the director of Karen Paws, the animal shelter where Lizzie volunteered sometimes. She and Maria had pledged to donate 10% of their earnings to the shelter. More clients? Maria stared at her. We're barely keeping up the ones we already have. Do you want to save our business or not? Lizzie scoffed. For a moment, Lizzie answered. Maria didn't answer. She then looked at her sneakers. I guess so, she finally whispered. After school that day, Lizzie met with Maria at their usual corner. Maria had already picked up Tank and Atlas. You're late, she said. Sorry, Lizzie said. Oh my gosh, I have to stick up flyers all around town. She held out a sheaf of papers. She pinned a few more to some telephone poles and stuffed more into some mailboxes at the end of people's driveways. But I'm here now, she said, snatching Tank's leash. And I didn't bring any more puppies with me, she grinned at Maria. Lizzie had to set the timer feature on her dog watch to make sure they gave every dog a last-minute walk. She had stuffed her favorite dog training book in her backpack, along with the flyers, tape, and pushpins. She looked through the book the night before and stuck post-it notes all over the pages that had good training exercises or tips. And during their walks that day, she and Maria at least tried one with every dog. She made sure to give special attention to each dog. An ear rub for Tank, belly scratches for Scruffy, hugs and extra pats for Pixie and Pongo, the poodle twins. They handed out flyers to their customers and stuck them in their mailboxes. Huh? Mrs. Federico said when she read the one they gave her. You're lowering your price? Oh, that's terrific! How often does that happen? Maria shot Lizzie a look, but Lizzie just ignored it and smiled at Miss Federico. Just trying our best to give you great service, ma'am, she said. At the end of the afternoon, Lizzie volunteered to walk Ginger on her own. I'm going to take Oscar over again, Maria said. I think it's really good for him to be around another dog, and Ginger seems to enjoy his company. She went home, picked up Oscar, and then headed off to Ginger's house, posting flyers along the way. She put one on a telephone pole, handed one to a teenage boy who was walking his pet beagle, shoved some into some mailboxes. She was 2 doors away from Ginger's house, put another flyer into another mailbox when she spotted a mailman across the street. She smiled and waved. One of the carried dog biscuits in his bag the way Rita the mail deliverer did. Rita was a very friendly lady, and she loved dogs. She would always come over to ask what new foster puppy Lizzie was walking and give him pets and treats. Rita hasn't met Oscar yet, but Lizzie knew she would love him when she did. Instead of smiling and waving back, the mailman trotted across the street towards Lizzie, frowning. "Young lady, you know you're not allowed to do that," he said, waving a hand at the flyer she stuffed into the red mailbox. "Only employees of the United Postal Service could put mail in the mailbox. It's just a flyer," Lizzie said, holding it out to show him, "for my dog walking business." He even didn't glance at it. "You're breaking the law, young lady," he said. "Regulation 3.13 states that clearly anybody putting anything other than U.S. mail into a mailbox could be prosecuted and fined." "Oh," Lizzie with her arm dropped. This mailman wasn't like Rita. The way he charged over and ground her reminded her how Oscar hated when he spotted Bowser that day at Aunt Amanda's. "Oh, sorry. I won't do it anymore, officer," she said, looking down the ground. I imagine you won't, Missy. Now that you know it's against the law," said the mailman. And now his voice a little gentler. He reached to a mailbox. "Would your puppy like a biscuit?" Lizzie looked down at Oscar. He thumped his tail on the sidewalk. "Ooh! I believe the word biscuit was mentioned. Does that mean?" "Sure," Lizzie said. She didn't bother explaining that Oscar wasn't her pup, but the mailman bent down and gave Oscar a bone-shaped dog biscuit. "Good boy," he murmured. "Aren't you a good-looking little gentleman?" Lizzie smiled to herself. Everybody loved dogs. Maybe this mailman wasn't such a meanie after all. Maybe he only acted grouchy sometimes like Oscar. "His name's Oscar," she said. "Well, Oscar," said the mailman, "would you like another biscuit?" Oscar thumped. He thumped his tail. He placed down his paw. "Oh, you shake hands too! What a little smarty!" The mailman dug out another biscuit and handed it over. Lizzie was still smiling as she walked up to Ginger's house. She told Oscar to sit and knocked on the door. Angel was not smiling when she opened the door. In fact, it looked like as if she had been crying. "Oh, Lizzie," she said. "I almost forgot you were coming. I'm so glad you're here. Ginger's not doing well at all today."